ladies. Thank you guys
Hello.
for joining us. So we had these burning questions for the amazing Pinkie Swear, aka Elaine and Shawnette. So,
Burning questions.
burning
Ooh, I
questions.
can't wait.
So Catherine's going to start us off, and we'll just ask the questions. Take as much time as you want to answer. If we don't get through everything, we can always do another one later. Hint, hint.
Oh, Jesus. So how much time are we allowing? Like an hour?
We're doing like 30 minutes-ish.
Ooh.
Now we're talking about Elaine here.
That's why I said we could always do it more later.
Okay. I'll try to check fast. Catherine,
hi. All right, ladies. Hello. Hi, Shawnette. Hi, Elaine.
Hi.
It's lovely to meet you and lovely to chat with you. So thank you.
Yes.
The first question is, how did you ladies meet?
Oh my.
Can I tell you the story?
Yeah, you can tell.
Okay. So we only have 30 minutes. So I will open it by saying we met by doing everything we tell our kids not to do. We met online in an attendee site for an event, and there was some kind of a dinner going on like the night before the event, and for whatever reason I really wanted to go to the dinner, and for whatever reason I had never done this in my life, and I put a thing up in the attendees
Facebook page.
Thank you, Shawnette.
You're welcome.
That said, can anybody give me a ride?
And I happened to be driving to the event. And I'm like, I was going by myself, and I'm like, do I say, yeah, I can give you a ride? So yeah, I did what we tell our kids never to do. I said, sure, let a stranger in my car.
Yeah.
So yeah, we met in the lobby of the hotel and went to the dinner and had a very interesting night with a couple of stand-ups.
And we only have 30 minutes, so I guess we should just stop it there.
All right. So what made you decide to start Pinkie Swear?
Well, upon our meeting at this event, we basically kind of became inseparable. We started going to other events, other conventions, large and small. And from there, well, Pinkie Swear actually originated in a coffee shop in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had been in Brooklyn at a photography exhibit for one of the talent. And the exhibit didn't go exactly as planned, if you will. And we thought, well, we could do that better.
Yeah.
And so go ahead.
No, so I was just going to say, so through going to these different conventions, and we'll say bringing the fun, as we used to say, like, it's like, what are we going to do? Like every time we went to a convention, there was a theme, and people would look forward to whatever it was we were bringing. And through that process, we got to know this particular talent and felt comfortable enough to have that conversation with him that was, we can do it better. We can, we went through the whole deal. And so Pinkie Swear is not just a name that we pulled out of the universe. In that coffee shop, at that meeting, after we were done everything and exchanging questions and ideas and whatever, we said, okay, do we trust each other? Yes, we do. And let's Pinkie Swear on it. And we all made a Pinkie Swear. And that's where it started.
Oh, great story.
And
So what made you guys want to or decide to organize a convention on your own?
Because we thought we could do it better. We going to the big conventions, going to small conventions. We've been to a couple of medium-sized ones too, as well. We saw what we really liked and we saw what we really didn't like. And we saw what we thought was missing. And we thought, we can do this. What Elaine's go-to phrase is, it's not rocket science.
Right. Right.
And it's
Yeah.
not. It's just dedication, persistence, a little bit of passion, and a love for a fandom.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that I think that was a piece of what drove us too, because as Shawnette said, we went to big, went to small, we went to medium conventions. You know, we paid a lot of money to go to some conventions and we paid not so much money to go to some conventions. And when we went to the more expensive conventions, it did seem, I'm not going to say that it was an elitist attendance, but it clearly was, if you paid more money, you were treated differently, you know, in these tier conventions. You know, for me, and I think Shawnette will agree, like I didn't want a convention where somebody had to pay, you know, big bucks to get access to talent. Like that was not the type of thing we were looking to do. And that was a piece of, you know, that was kind of always in the back of our mind when we were negotiating money and contracts too. It's like, no, if, you know, we would always be ready to walk away from people because we wanted to make sure that we could put together an affordable convention. And yeah, it's not rocket science, but we learned a lot on the way.
Yeah.
And that's something that really impressed me about you guys from the start was it's always been about the fans. And that's been so key, I think, in making the convention a big deal and making it so successful is people felt heard. And I love that.
Yeah, that was that's something that's very, very important to us because we understand that the fans are the people that make everything possible for everybody, the talent and everybody. You know, without the fans, we wouldn't have a convention, right?
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we love the fans.
Oh. Well, the next question is, what do you think makes a good partnership? You may have already answered this a little bit in the previous one.
We like each other, number one.
That's a start.
You know, we respect. We listen to each other. We don't, you know, if one of us comes up with an idea, it's not poo-pooed. It's not, oh, there's no way. You know, we talk. We have respect for each other. We listen. We talk to each other a lot, and it's, you know, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Respect and the fact, communication. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think there's a certain level of trust, certainly a level of trust that I have with Shawnette that I don't necessarily have with everybody. Like I'll put out what I think maybe like not a very good idea. And through our process, as we say, it gets turned into something that's exciting. Like we're just always like talking about this is a lot of what if, because if we don't think about the what ifs and we just limit ourselves to the what we can, you know, actually do at a particular moment, then the magical shit, as we say, would not happen.
Right. That's exactly right. And the process, that's a big deal to us.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, because we outside the box, we just randomly we throw crazy stuff out there. The what ifs.
Yeah.
And that's how we come up with something that is, like you said, Rihanna, out of the box, that maybe nobody else has thought of.
Right.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna throw this in here because I think it's very, very true. I think our superpower is people never know what to expect of us. And that's where it comes from. That's kind of the root of it, because we don't necessarily know what to expect of each other either, all the time.
It's like, don't underestimate us, right?
Yeah. The element of surprise.
Mhm.
Exactly. Even to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, we did that.
Mhm.
Okay. What was it difficult to get started doing a convention?
Yeah. Well,
No, I think we really kind of laid the groundwork.
right.
With attending all the different conventions and making the connections that we did through the conventions, we laid the groundwork. We knew who to contact, how to contact. We knew what we needed. And then we just built upon that. We took this skeleton of a framework that we had already built and just built higher.
Yeah. And I think what's true of all of this too is we went to a lot of conventions, and we did not begin going to conventions thinking, okay, at some point in time, we're going to organize our own convention. Like we just went as fans, having a good time with everybody, meeting new people, and all of that, as Shawnette said, that laid the groundwork for, when we did say, okay, let's try to put something together. I don't think we said try. I think we said, let's put something together. And it was very helpful.
Yeah. We never had the let's try. It's never been try. It's okay, we're going to do this. We don't know when it's going to happen, but we're going to do this. And obviously there's been many roadblocks along the way, the least of which was COVID.
Right.
But like I said in the beginning, persistence, always being there, always, that's why we try to be present. We try to let the fans, our followers, know us, know our face. We are Pinkie Swear. This is us. We're not hiding from anything.
Right.
This in transparency, what inclusion. We want to listen to everybody.
That personal connection.
Exactly.
I admire that.
Yeah, so do I.
And you guys have built such a community inside the event, not even just the fandom, but inside of the event, there's so many people that have made now lasting friendships they would have never made because they're from all over the country, and not just United States, but they're all over the world, and that is really cool thing to see.
Yeah. It's very, like, it's nice to have that initial common connection, in terms of, like, whether it be a show or a person that you really like as an actor or actress, that type of thing. That's, that break the ice kind of thing is really great, because then it really opens up the opportunity to really, share a lot of other stuff with people. And you meet really, and I know you guys have too, met really, really interesting and talented people.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You do.
For sure.
Yeah.
So because you guys have gone through and done so much of this, what advice would you give somebody else that's just starting out?
Expect the unexpected and always be willing to walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. and don't be disappointed when the doors close, because there'll be plenty of doors closing, but plenty of windows opening too. Like we've said this so many times, like when we think something is going to be one way and it ends up being a very different way, it's like, okay, this is the way it's supposed to be, you know, and we're not sure why, but it's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, like
Because-
everything happens for a reason, sort of thing.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because you'll drive
Yeah.
yourself crazy if you try to control everything, because there are so many things in this business that are out of your control,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, that leads on to the next question nicely, which is, where do you see yourselves in 5 years' time? Like, what is your ultimate goal?
Ooh.
Wow.
It's a big one.
So can we reach it in 5 years? I don't know. The ultimate goal.
The ultimate, right? I mean, we did. That's true. I'm glad you said that. You said the ultimate goal.
Mhm.
Every event, everything we've planned has been the ultimate at that moment. The next one is going to be just that much more ultimate. You know, you just keep reaching further. You know, we've exactly. You know, our Kick-Ass event. Wait till 2023. You know, you just keep growing better, I think. And in 5 years, I only see it being even more ultimate. I mean, ideally, I think Elaine and I have talked about this. We'd like to do more than one event a year. And it's, you know, not necessarily always a TLK Outlander event. You know, there are so many other fandoms, so many other shows.
Yeah.
You know, and the pool is endless, really. It's just a matter of belief, persistence, you know.
So really, your ultimate goal is to encompass all of the fandoms for all of the things that you like, all of the shows that are popular and that you love.
That would be great. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, you know, I'm 66 years old, so in 5 years, I'm going to be 71. So part of my goal is to be able to wake up in the morning. So after we do that, everything's gravy, right?
It's all a bonus.
Yeah.
bonus.
But I mean, I think too, what we would like to do is, I mean, this is a passion project. There's no question about it. But I think at some point in time, we would like to make a teeny tiny bit of money on these conventions, just because, you know, it helps down the road. It's great to be able to take the money and put it into the next, you know, the next convention. So yeah, we just want to be able to keep the ball rolling, so to speak, I think, right?
Right. Yeah, we're not looking to make bank, if you will. We just want to feed the fandom. We want to keep the ball rolling. You know, be self-sustaining.
Yeah.
Right. So here's a fun one. What was your favorite part about the event this year?
Oh my word. Can I even remember it? It was such a blur. It was such a blur. You know, the attendees, of course, were absolutely amazing. They just, yeah, we love our attendees. The talent, the hugs. Tell you what, you can't beat the hugs.
Yeah. You know, after COVID, after going through COVID and having all that, I posted a memory the other day and it talked about hugs and personal contact and how healthy it is and what it does, raising your oxytocin or something, all the good stuff about hugs and personal connections, physical personal connections. And yeah, that was very, very cool. I don't know if it was necessarily my favorite, but it was one thing that really kind of told the story of the convention. I mean, apart from seeing the smiles and, people getting so excited and saying this is so much fun, and the talent saying the same thing, we had a breakfast on Sunday morning, and I sat like back. I didn't sit at a table. I sat back and I just listened. And it was really, really, really loud in that room. It wasn't a big room, so it wasn't loud because it was echoing. It was loud because people were talking and having fun and laughing. And I just took my phone and I put it down and I recorded the sound. And I played it later and I was like, yeah, that was a good time. That was successful. It was great. It was great to hear that. There were no lulls in any conversation, I'm sure.
No.
And we opened that up with one of our local historians talking a little bit about the hotel that we were in the area. And I told him to limit his talk to like 10 or 15 minutes, because seriously, you could listen to him for hours. And
no, go ahead. I have something to say after you're done.
okay. And that was part of the feedback too, that they wanted to hear more from Jim McAllister, but that was just great, listening to the very, very loud conversation. And of course I was watching everything too, people sitting on each other, hugging each other, whatever. It was just fun.
Yeah. And let me tell you, talk about the talent, how amazing they are. This breakfast, we planned it, and it was to be a breakfast. It was an add-on for those who want to get together, have breakfast, and it was going to be like a round robin. The talent was going to come in after they had their own breakfast and come in and go to each of the different tables. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to come to the breakfast. They came and ate with everybody.
Yeah.
They didn't, and Trina can attest to this. They did not want to be away from the attendees. They spent very little time in their trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's amazing, isn't it? It is.
It was amazing. They just wanted to be with their people.
They obviously felt very comfortable in the environment that they were in, what you had created. So that's a kudos to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they were.
And they were so interested in what, the Outlander folks wanted to hear what the TLK folks had to say in the sessions, and vice versa. And I thought that was neat, that there was a lot of friendships that I think were brought stronger or developed even among the talent. So that was really neat to see. But yeah. I totally agree. They wanted to be up front and center with everybody. And that was
I tell you what, Cato.
It was wonderful.
Cato was so amazing. We met Cato through Wizard World. Through all the times we've been to all the different conventions, Cato was always there. And we got to know him. And I had reached out to him to see if he would do this for us. And of course, he said yes. And I get a message from him. What are these shows I've never seen? He'd never seen TLK. He'd never seen Outlander. Nothing. So he came in cold. He's watched, I think he said he watched like 2 or 3 episodes at TLK. And that was it. And do you know, by the end of the event, I got a text from him that Sunday night. It was either that Sunday or Monday, saying that he had so much fun and made such good friends. He was so excited because they were all following each other now on Instagram.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just And I tell you what, Cato and Joseph Milson have a bromance going.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
You know, it's just so amazing to see, because these people didn't, you think they know each other, but they don't.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. So
And
there's
they
Chris
both have
Scott.
that, I'm sorry, they both have that sense of humor. They both have a great sense of humor. So I could see that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the talent commented to me that it was nice to have the two shows, because let's face it, a lot of these people go to a number of conventions, and not that they don't like their co-stars, they love their co-stars, but it's like, you know, you're on the circuit, right? You go with the same people all the time. So you know, this person said it's so nice to like meet new people.
Yeah,
They
I
love
could
it.
see that. Yeah, and what a bonus for the fans as well. I have the both shows together, you know, especially if you're a fan of both of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Great networking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there were people who maybe weren't Outlander fans or weren't TLK fans that became fans through the event. Like when
Yeah.
you meet somebody personally, I think it gives you that extra, you know, that extra connection that then kind of spurs you on to take a look at the show.
And
Yeah.
that's really
Or start a
what-
fan club. I don't know.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You know, that was kind of what drove us to start the fan groups for Mickey and for Harry, because they're so great, and
They
they
are.
so wonderful with getting things going. We have time for maybe one more question, and then we'll do our little fun game real quick. But I did want to get this question in, because I think the Steel Soldiers are
Oh,
so important, what they do, and they were so much fun to watch and interesting. So how did you guys get involved with the Steel Soldiers documentary crew?
just like things happen for us. It's the universe. I got a DM from, who was it from? From Tony. He introduced himself and said he was with this 14th century armored fighters organization, and he thought that our event would be a great place for them to have a exposition, if you will. Like, I didn't have a clue what he was talking about. And I said, sure, let me talk to my partner. And well, it went on from there. He brought in Jamie Flanagan and Carl Fisk. He brought in Gary,
Oh.
I'm going to say murder, no, Gary Huell. And we got an email from Carl and Jamie saying, hey, you know, Tony reached out to us. We're doing this documentary, and we would love to bring these people to your event and, you know, film part of our documentary. We're like, what? And that's basically how it happened. They reached out to us. They loved the look of our event and thought it would be perfect. And it was. They were amazing.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
guys are amazing.
It wasn't right away, I don't think, that we realized the work that they do. But as we learned more about them, when we realized, you know, that it was a way for a lot of veterans and anybody who has experienced trauma to deal with their trauma, with their PTS. It's almost, it definitely is counterintuitive, I think. You know, you deal with trauma by, you know, whacking somebody in the head with a sword or something like that. But clearly it's worked for these people, and you know, they love the talent loved them and the attendees, and it was just, and we were able to sneak in like a 30-minute panel for them so that they could be heard, and that was very important to them, and we're happy that we got to do that. And They might come back next year.
I think they
Fingers
are.
crossed.
Fingers crossed. I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Well, Rihanna's got some fun questions for you guys. So what we'll do is she'll ask the question and then Shawnette answer how you think Elaine would answer this question. And then Elaine answer how you think Shawnette would answer the question.
Oh boy.
Okay, so you guys ready?
Ready?
Okay. Cat or dog?
Oh, dog.
Cats.
Okay. Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Savory.
Mhm.
Do we get to check and see if we're right?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Is that
Yeah.
right, Shawnette?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, sorry.
Okay.
Just checking.
Right.
You know, I love my condiments.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Hmm.
Chocolate.
I'm gonna say chocolate. That's a hard one.
Yep. Was I right with you?
Yeah, you were right. I mean, it depends on what it is.
Okay.
But yes, you were absolutely 100% correct, Shawnette.
Harbor
I-
Sweets.
Sweets
Okay.
was exactly right.
Favorite color?
Not purple.
Not, say Elaine, blue.
Yeah. Purple.
Mhm.
Hot or cold beverage?
Oh,
Oh, hot.
cold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as much ice as possible in that Coke Zero at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right there.
Okay, I always ask this one. Pineapple on pizza.
I'm gonna say no. No.
And I'll say yes, because she'll experiment.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the no is correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Elaine won't. Yeah. Experiment is not her thing. I got her to eat haggis.
What is
Catherine, I
that?
got her to eat haggis.
Yeah. Right.
Mhm.
Oh,
Wash it down with everything. But yeah.
What did
And
you think?
curry.
haggis. It was haggis.
What did you think of haggis?
I wouldn't run back for it. No offense.
Right. I do personally like it, but that's because I'm half Scottish.
It's not bad. We had it. Where was it? At the college
University coffee shop.
university coffee shop there in Glasgow. Yeah.
Nice.
And then Elaine got Shawnette to try a chop suey sandwich.
Oh,
Oh,
That was interesting.
Mm.
you didn't go for a deep fried Mars bar.
oh my. Yeah, that chop suey sandwich.
No
It had
bueno.
no flavor.
Yeah.
And plus, it was disgusting looking.
It was, yeah.
But I tried it.
You did
Yeah.
good.
It
Yeah.
looked like a pile of worms. Yeah, it was.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, not very appetizing.
Yeah.
Pile of worms.
Sure. Well, we do have a few more questions. So hopefully you guys will agree to do this again sometime. We'd love to hear more, especially when you have more that you can share about next year's event, because we are excited about that too. So, but thank you guys so much for agreeing to meet with us and answer all of our questions. We appreciate you guys so much.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you.
Yeah, it's been
You
a
guys
blast.
are awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for everything you guys do.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
it
thanks.
takes time, you know?
It does, but we all enjoy it, and
We'll live it.
yeah, we've become sisters through doing it, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I appreciate everything, but I especially appreciate Rihanna's sense of humor.
Oh, fantastic. Got a wicked sense of humor.
I know.
Naughty.
Naughty.
Naughty but nice.
Right.
But thanks
All
again.
right.
And
Well, thank you guys.
we'll be posting this on all the groups, so hopefully everybody will get a chance to watch and ask more questions for next time.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Great.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
All right.